Hey, Mr. Math here. How to convert to standard form. Make sure you subscribe. Let's say they are given slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and they ask for standard form. Now, first you got to understand standard form is ax plus by equals c. Basically, that's the idea if you have like hot dogs worth $2 and a drink worth $3, and you want to know how much that costs, you could put both variables on the same side, and if you had bought 5 hot dogs and 3 drinks, you would know that that's $19. So that's the idea of putting the variables on the same side. So if you're given y equals mx plus b, notice x and y are not on the same side. So your first kind of movement is to get your x and y on the same side, and you do that with an inverse operation. So you want to move your x, if it's a negative 3 over 8x, to move it onto this side, we're going to add 3/8 over x to both sides. Now the reason I'm kind of putting it over here and not underneath the y is because y and x are not like terms, and I kind of want to get it, to fit on this side. Now you get the 3/8 x plus y is equal to -5. Now another rule with standard form is that you want to remove all denominators or fractions. You want it to be basically integers and whole numbers. So what I'm going to do, in order to get rid of a denominator, I can multiply by that number. Because 8 times 3 over 8, if I just cross reduce, I'm left with that number 3. So I'll find the number on the bottom and multiply. But remember, you're distributing. The mistake would be to just multiply this and leave the y and the 5 the same. And I end up with 3x plus 8y is equal to -40. Here you have a similar problem, but I bring this up. Same thing, your inverse operation, you're moving the x to one side. Usually you're going to move the x to the side of the y. Same thing, you're looking at the denominator. What is that number? Here you have 7 and 7. Okay, I'll use 7 to get rid of that, and I end up with a -6x plus 7y is equal to -19. Now the difference here is that traditionally math asks for this ax term, the x term with the coefficient, they ask for it to be positive. Here I have it to be negative. So you may see in some multiple choice results, you'll get to this standard form and you don't see it in your multiple choice. One way to change that is just basically to distribute a negative sign and change all your signs here. And then what that'll do is that'll make your first term, your x positive, your y negative, and then turn this to a positive. Now let's just say, special case, you ended up with like a 3 over 5x plus y is equal to 1/3. If you want to change this to standard form and you have two different denominators, well, what you would use is a like denominator. You would use a 15 here, and what that does is allows you to remove all these pieces. And let's say 5 goes into 15 3 times, so 3 times 3, that would be a 9x plus 15 times y, just regular distributing the 15. And then 3 goes into 15 5 times, so you would do 5 times 1, 5. And this is what your standard form would be, let's say if you're given two different denominators.